makes me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, you know, we need them. Yeah, we need those strategies, don't we? Your strategies for living. So are you ready? Are you ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
Oh, let me catch up with you. Where are you running to?
Yeah, well, that's, you're a step ahead of me as always.
I'm ready.
Hey, folks, welcome into another edition of Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillan. She is psychotherapist, LPC Lauren Leon McMillan, and you've already caught on to the running thing. One of the things that I love about doing this program is we get to meet some wonderful life strategists.
Absolutely.
And we get to introduce them to our listeners. And, our life strategist today, what an incredible story, because as a young man in colonial Kenya, Pius Kamau learns early what it means to run with lions, both the metaphorical powers that stalk his people, and of course there's the real leopard too. Yeah. We're probably going to hear some. He encountered a real leopard alone in the forest, first of many times that he will stand eye to eye with death. But he's written. Dr. Pius Kamau has written a beautiful little book, and we're going to talk about it today. It's called Running with Lions.
Yeah, I am so looking forward to our conversation today because, we talk often about that fight, flight, or freeze, right? Yeah. Running from the lion. But I love Dr. Kamau's story and what he has to offer in terms of resilience and managing what our life can become. Absolutely.
And, actually the story is just multi-layered because Dr. Kamau returned to independent Kenya as a doctor and discovered some things. So we've got a lot of ground to cover today here on Strategies
well, you better
for
get
Living.
Running then.
We better be running. Hey, folks, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you being with us. And we appreciate our sponsors making it possible. The Robinson Film Center, Azalea Cleaners, Pintail Roofing, Restore Healing, Fertitta's Delicatessen, Home of the Muffy, SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. Back in a moment, we're going to meet Dr. Pius K. Kamau. Run with the lions. Don't worry, folks. We'll protect you. Come back here with us on Strategies.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul aligned. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio rehab every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem drab. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan. Let's welcome into the program now Dr. Pius K. Kamau. He's a thoracic surgeon and author. He's written, a lot of things. He's even penned a mystery novel called Doctor's Date with Death. Isn't that
That
something?
sounds like something we got to pick up now.
Yeah,
Knowing his
absolutely.
story.
Dr. Kamau established Africa America Higher Education Partnerships, AAHEP, and it's a nonprofit that helps African women scientists to pursue graduate degrees in the United States. He's also the host of a podcast himself, Never Again, the podcast of the Coalition Against Global Genocide, and co-host of Roots and Futures podcast of Metro State University of Denver's Africana Studies. You are a busy man, Dr. Kamau. Thank you for taking time out of that busy schedule to visit with us today.
Thank you so very much, David. You know what they say about a rolling stone doesn't gather in moss.
And I love it. I love it. So this new book, you've written prolifically, but this new book I think is something special. Running with Lions. Of course, the title is working on a couple of levels. Your literal encounter with a leopard, and of course, the metaphor for colonial rule. But what led you to frame the book that way? What led you to land on that image to frame the whole book?
Well, the thing is, growing up in Kenya, when I did in the 1950s, it was a very hard time. It was a very difficult time for a boy like me.
Yeah.
In many ways. From poverty, for example, to the diseases that most of us suffered from, in addition to the colonial powers and the British, the racism was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So there was all those things, and in addition to the actual leopard that that I had encountered when I was little.
Okay,
So
well
all
you
those
gotta take us back to that. You gotta you know people. I can see people on the edge of their seats here, and I don't want them to fall because some of them are driving. So take us back to that encounter when you were a little guy with the leopard. What do you remember?
Yes. So my mother and I, we used to go to pick green plants that we've used for our meals.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'd go to the nearby forest, and on this particular instance, as we were walking back home, and she was carrying a big basket of greens, we stopped, and she pointed to me. She said, "You see over there?" I couldn't see anything at all, and she said, "We are in their home." And of course, that made no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Who was she talking?
Yeah.
Who was she talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, when I did look, I looked more carefully. There was this animal looking at us, and slowly we walked away backwards, so as not to show that we were afraid,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and so that the animal was not spooked, and to make sure that there was no confrontation.
Yeah.
So so that image kind of it stays in my mind. It has stayed.
That's so poignant, and especially what your mother said to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're in their home. Wow.
Which essentially means that we were sharing the animal space. And I think it's one thing that we all have to remember. Wherever we go, there were wild animals before us, and we should never ever forget.
Yeah. Well,
we're sharing their space with them.
Yeah. But for me, it's so poignant, especially because when you were a little guy, the colonial rule And so many times history tells us the rulers don't even think about we're sharing their home. And so it's
and that's really the story, because when the British came to Kenya, they were lords. I mean, they they were walking tall,
right.
and they saw this land. It was beautiful, and believe you me, they had the temerity to call the land they found. They call it the White Highlands. Can you imagine that?
Jeez.
The White Highlands of Kenya.
What was the day-to-day life like for you growing up under the British colonial rule, and what was it like day to day?
Well, it was, as I say, we were segregated. First of all, when I was about 4 or 5, my father took me to Mombasa, where he used to work for the railway, the East African Railways. So really, the life in Mombasa was slightly different from the life up country near the Mount Kenya, where I was born.
Right.
Up country, I mean, most people, were great. They would go out and till the land, plant plants, crops that they would survive on. In Mombasa, it was different in that father went to work. The first few years of my life there, father went to work, and I would have a babysitter. And many of the boys, my friends, quote unquote friends, we go around the shores of the Indian Ocean, and then of course we play as kids normally do,
right?
Waiting for my father to come home, which he did. And then we'd repeat the same thing the next day. But of course, I mean, there were adventures also. I think I do mention, for example, where we found a young person had been bitten by a snake, and he was dead when we found him.
Oh wow!
Huge baobab tree that was around where we lived, and we like to climb that, and
sure.
So stuff like that. I mean, that's what kids did.
Yeah. Now, you've said that curable illnesses claimed loved ones in your community. How did that shape your decision, your drive to go into medicine?
Well, first of all, my father, after we were living together in Mombasa, began coughing up blood. And I mean, that was really traumatic, I think, for a young boy.
Yeah.
Sure.
So eventually he was diagnosed as having tuberculosis. So that was one thing that was very, very important to me as I grew up, and I wondered, what could I do? Of course, I mean, I didn't have an education, so really, the thought of becoming a doctor did not come to me at that moment. But in any case, by and by, I mean, I did want to be eventually to be. If I ever got a chance, I want to become a doctor.
Yeah. Actually, you fled on foot towards Sudan after you were trying to get schooling, but you were arrested and sent back. Is that right?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Well, the story around that was that the Russian embassy was in Khartoum, Sudan. They didn't have an embassy in Nairobi. The British, well, because of the Cold War, as you remember,
right?
The British did not allow the Russians to have an embassy in Kenya, so the embassy was in Sudan, and it became common knowledge. At least I got to know that scholarships were available to go to Russia for black kids. there was a university called the Patrice Lumumba University in Moscow. So being the brave boy that I was, I decided, hey, I better go and get myself a scholarship and go to Russia. And the best way to do that is to walk. So I got myself a pair of shoes and walked to Sudan.
Wow.
And then we know the rest of the story. I got arrested.
But you stayed with it. You continued even after that. Some people would give up or stop, but you stayed with it, and that's part of the story too, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The thing is, I mean, I was really gung ho. I was really bent on getting an education, because I realized, I mean, an education is the only way, the only key to a reasonable future. And I was quite happy and willing to do anything that would allow me to get there. The place I wanted to go to.
This is a story that we all need to hear today, especially our young folks. Running with Lions. Dr. Pius Kamau today on Strategies. He's our life strategist, and we've got much more to learn, much more to come here on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies for living. Radio.
And welcome back. Welcome back in to Strategies for Living Radio. Wonderful conversation today with Dr. Pius K. Kamau. Wonderful book. I'm holding it up here to the radio so everybody can see it. Running with Lions. A very, very powerful story at your favorite bookseller right now. And I hope you will take advantage and go get a copy of Running with Lions. Still got a little summertime left, so you still have some time for summertime reading.
And this is a book you could read and should read at any point. We all need it.
Absolutely.
Understand the resilience of people.
You eventually did get that scholarship. You got a scholarship to Strathmore College. That changed the trajectory of life for you, did it not, Dr. Kamau?
It was heaven sent, if I may say so. It was heaven sent. Heaven sent in that I worked extremely hard for it. For 2 years, I worked every night and didn't sleep more than 2 or 3 hours every night. Studied like a dog, and out of a class of 30 students, 3 of us were picked because we were the best to go to Strathmore College in Nairobi. Before them, up to that point in my life, as I mentioned, we had a 3-tiered society in Kenya. The Europeans at the top, Asians in the middle, and the blacks at the bottom. We didn't mix. We did not mingle in any way at all. We had no deals with each other.
Right.
Strathmore College was the first multiracial college in Africa. And when I went to Strathmore College, for the first time in my life, I sat next to an Asian, next to a European student. We slept in the same bedrooms. We went to the same classes. And then, in addition to that, I joined the rugby team, which are the 3 races, whites, Asians, and blacks.
Right.
So it was a complete change of my life, so to speak.
Yeah.
You went from Kenya, you went to Spain to more medical education, eventually to the United States medical system. What were those
Right.
What were those transitions like for you?
Well, each one of them was so it's almost like traveling to another world altogether.
Mm.
Um, and there were transitions of quite amazing, really. So being in Europe, living among the Europeans, I mean, the Spaniards, for example. I had to learn Spanish.
Mm.
I had to learn how Spaniards lived. It was a fantastic. Every evening when we go to the restaurants and bars, everybody drank wine. For the first time in my life, I drank a glass of wine. How about that?
I love it. I love it.
And of course, the Spanish music and Spanish culture.
Yeah.
I had friends in London that were introduced to me by an American doctor, and I spent many months in London. So I went to and fro from Spain to London. Um, so London was another world altogether.
Yeah.
It's essentially the places that I had heard about, I had learned about, from the colonial government and colonial people. So here I was, the seat of the colonial power. It was amazing. It was beautiful.
You're a thoracic surgeon.
Right.
What? Let's talk about that for a moment, because some people listening, to them that may be a big word. What is a thoracic surgeon? What does a thoracic surgeon do? And where do you do your cutting?
Well, let me give you a good example. I think maybe an example is much better than anything else. One night I was on call for the emergency room, the hospital, and they called me because somebody had been stabbed in the chest.
Mm.
And 2 o'clock in the morning, so I go in, look at the young man, and he was going to die if we did not operate on him.
Wow.
So took him to the operating room, and then to get to where the stab wound was, we had to open the chest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once we got into the chest, we found that he had a whole lot of blood in around his heart.
Mm.
So open the sac, we call the pericardium.
Right.
Open the pericardium, a whole bunch of blood just came out, and the heart could be seen, and there was a stab wound of the heart, the right ventricle. So I went ahead and repaired that, closed the patient up. So that was thoracic surgery.
Gotcha.
The opening of the chest, and then in this case, saving a young man's life by repairing the wound on his heart.
Yeah.
That was the. But then let me also say another thing which is important. After I had done that, or during my doing that, I remembered how I began to learn how to read and write back in Kenya. And that happened when we went to school the first day and the first few weeks and months. I learned how to write my ABCs on the sand, on the ground. That's how I learned how to write and read.
Wow.
Now compare that to my saving this young man with a stab wound of the heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you've literally held people's lives in your hands. How has medicine in that way? How has it changed your understanding of maybe what really matters?
Well, I mean, I have saved thousands and thousands of American lives.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not something you count. You don't count. Obviously, 1, 2, 3, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's thousands of people. Well, it really just shows you the power we have in our hands, and the power we have in our minds. And if you're willing to work extremely hard, you pretty much can do pretty much everything that you want to do, or much of what you want to do. The human possibility is endless. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we should not put any limits to our to our lives.
There's so, again, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. There's so many young people, particularly today in the United States and probably other places in the world, but I can speak to the United States.
Yeah.
So many young people so need to hear what you're saying, Dr. Kamau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why I think this is a book which is timely. I think, because I think if we can get more children and more young people, and the parents, of course, I mean, to read this, I think it may serve as a pointer to where we need to go as a society.
Yeah.
Where and what is possible with our society and our children.
Yeah.
Because there are very, very, very many Einsteins, who are lost on the streets and in our prisons.
Yes.
Yeah.
In our prisons.
Yeah.
Many, many Einsteins.
Yeah.
And education for you became a path to freedom. I mean,
you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Education was the only thing that could have saved me, and it saved me, and it has brought me this far.
Yeah.
The book has been described, and again, folks, the book is called Running with Lines. It's been described as a psychological exploration of racism and colonization's impact. What do you really want? What do you want people who read it any place in the world? What do you want people to take away from it?
Well, one thing I'd like people to appreciate once again is the power of determination and the power of the mind. I want people to appreciate that they should never ever say never, because the possibility is incredible and is there. But I also want them to appreciate the power of giving and the power of charity, because one thing I can say is the number of people who lent me a hand is incredible. I mean, I have met so many people who are willing to go out of their way to open the door or to shine a light on the path that I was the path I was leading. So there's a lot we can do for each other. The lives I've saved, I mean, they really are owed, or they do owe their lives to the people that came before me.
Absolutely.
them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we got to take a quick break, but
Sure.
let's bridge from what you're saying in the next segment. Let's talk about some of the very important ways that you've established to give back.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
how we might be able to
Help you.
help them, help us. Because when we help, there is no them. When we help them, we're helping us. And
It's us. It's us.
That's it. Running with Lines. That's the name of the book by our life strategist, Pius K. Kamau. And we've got more. We've got more here on Strategies for Living. Stay with us.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies for living radio.
And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan. You mind if I climb up on this soapbox here for a moment?
I suppose so.
Yeah, well,
Which soapbox are you on?
Our life strategist today, Dr. Pius Kamau, the book is Running with Lions. He's hitting so many, things that we need to be more aware of.
Absolutely.
We are a country that is so blessed. We have so much. And, even the poorest here in the United States, there are probably some people where Dr. Pius Kamau came from who would live that life and consider it rich,
Yeah.
And, when a book like this comes along and a story like this comes along, and somebody like Dr. Pius Kamau is willing to share it, it's really something we need to pay attention to. So thank you for, again, I know I've thanked you before, but thank you again for writing this book. All right, now you founded...
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely.
This is wonderful.
Well,
Absolutely. All right, you founded AHHEP, and that's to help African women scientists pursue graduate studies in the United States. And of course, I see the connection right back to your own story, right?
Right. The idea here, once again, is that if you train a woman, if you train a girl, and I think we all have said this has been said often. By training one, you're really training a family. You're training a clan. You're training a village, and there's nothing more important than education of young women. It's imperative that we do that and we concentrate on that. The issue in Africa, and sadly also an issue in America too, is that when it comes to sciences, we sometimes believe that, or like to believe that, women don't have the head for things like mathematics and physics and what have you. And I think there's nothing more untrue than that.
Yes.
But in any case, it's an extension, extrapolate the ideas that I have taken along, which is you can help and help in every way that you can.
How can people contribute to AHHEP if they're listening and have a desire to help?
Well, man, you just reach out to me, and we can talk some more about it.
I like it.
The first thing to do is to talk to people. You need to talk to each other. You need to talk to me. Talk to David McMillan, and
thank you.
And his a lovely spouse. This is what we need to do. We need to talk to each other.
Absolutely.
I am exploring ways of giving speeches and presentations at different seminaries and institutions and schools of higher learning, HBCUs. So I'm looking at all that, and I am happy to be a presenter at any meeting, any gathering, anywhere.
Absolutely.
So I am open for that.
Dr. Kamau, after everything that you've experienced, how would you define a successful life?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Let me tell you what the purpose of life is.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, because if you can do what I'm going to say, then you have had a successful life, which is you live to give.
Yes.
We live to give. We live to share. we live to be bigger than ourselves, and that's by sharing what we have with others.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Life is for giving.
Yeah.
Life is forgiving.
Far giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is to give and to serve.
Mm-hmm.
You live by serving. And there's nothing more Christian than that.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow those tenets, you are a good Christian also. And you're a good human being.
Amen.
You're a good human being.
So
You're a successful human being.
when I look at the cover of the book and this young man who is running and the shadow of the lion behind him, of course, that's the book is Running with
Right.
Lions.
Right.
You kind of think about outrunning history without leaving that history behind.
You cannot leave history behind, because history always catches up with you. History is what shapes us. We need to always be aware of our history, any history, so that we don't repeat the bad things and then repeat the good.
Yeah.
Because there's good and there's not so good. History, our ankles are tied with a string to the string of history. And we need to always remember that. Yeah. Remember our history.
Mm-hmm.
I get kind of concerned sometimes that, we may be trying to sanitize and clean up or change the stories. But the stories are so important. Mm-hmm. And the stories, as, again, we just celebrated 250 years. Some historians are trying to show, an actual picture, some of which some people say, oh, that's not what I was taught back in the 7th grade. But I really think that what we're trying to do is show the reality of the reality of what was. So again, we can
stories, right?
It's his story
like yours, and we each have a perspective.
And one more thing which I find, which I've been thinking about lately, as I think about the book and about my own life. I now think that you and I, all of us, we're sitting or standing on top of a hill, and we can see our past below, and we can actually follow it. We can sort of say, I was over there, I was there, I was there, and you can see your past. You can sort of sketch it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
The beauty of doing that is you can begin saying, that was not so good, that was better, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you pick it, because that's what history is what you see as a sketch in front of you, from you on the hill.
A very powerful story. It's called Running with Lions. It's at your favorite bookseller now. Dr. Pius Kamau, our life strategist today here on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren, Leon McMillan, David McMillan, Dr. Pius Kamau. The only complaint that I have with life strategists like Dr. Pius Kamau is that we need about 3 hours more.
Yes.
And so, Dr. Kamau, I wish we had him. We don't. We've covered a lot of ground in the conversation today. What do you want people most to take away from what we've talked about today?
Well, essentially one thing, which is everybody is your brother. Your relationship and the relationship of other people is extremely important. Make friends get to know those who are near you, who you live next to, because if you know their story, you'll be a better human being, and you might be able to make a better world.
Absolutely.
Because we depend on each other.
That's it.
Well said.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the work you're doing. Thank you for this beautiful book. I hope that we'll have the opportunity to visit again and maybe, extend our conversation a bit.
I would love nothing more than that, David. I would love nothing more than that.
In the meantime, folks, you can continue the conversation we've started today. How do you do that? Well, go get a copy of Running with Lions, Pius Kamau. You'll find it at your favorite bookseller. And thank you. Thank you for being a part of Strategies for Living. And we appreciate our sponsors who make all of this possible. The Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing, and Restore Healing, and Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Muffy, SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? And what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Lauren Leon McMillan and for Dr. Pius Kamau, I'm David McMillan. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living